Welcome to Sidebar, where you vote on the internet's biggest buttholes. Am I the butthole for making fun of a woman for being in her 40s and single? This whole saga started because my husband took my last name. A couple weeks ago he got his workplace to change it, and his coworkers found out. About half of them think this is the funniest thing ever, and about half are deeply offended. Brenda is in the offended half, and has made that clear. He and I are in a group chat with his coworkers where we organize carpooling during the pandemic. It is very helpful to us, so we can't leave the chat, since he changed his name. My husband and I have been dealing with a lot of dumb jokes in the chat, which we have been mostly ignoring. Yesterday Brenda, his coworker, and I got into a bit of a spat. I messaged the group asking if someone could take my husband home since I wouldn't be back from work until late and needed the car. One of his other coworkers agreed, and I thought that was that. Brenda messages the group saying maybe if you spent less time at work and more time being a wife, your husband wouldn't come into work with dirty shirts. I took this as a bad joke initially. My husband is a rural mail carrier, so his shirts look like shirts worn by someone in 90-degree heat on dusty roads. I do wash them, but there's only so much to be done. Me, I could make cleaning those shirts my full-time job, and it wouldn't do much lol. Brenda, you won't be married very long if you keep trying to be the man in the relationship. I'd be embarrassed as a wife if I did so little for my husband. Me, well, I work more hours and pay the bills, so I think he can OxiClean his own shirts if it's so important. Brenda, maybe you should learn to take proper care of your husband, or you'll find yourself divorced. Me, I'll let you know when I need relationship advice from someone who is 42 and single. Now apparently Brenda is going around and saying that I mocked her for being single in her 40s. I don't care if someone is single in their 40s, but I think it's absolute bulls that she can call me a bad wife, but I can't point out she has no frame of reference. Am I the butthole Reddit? Is OP a butthole? Here is what the Reddit thinks. No, the butthole. I don't even think I need to explain why. She brought this on herself. Am I the butthole for giving my old, slightly damaged MacBook to my cat and not my sister? Okay, so I know this sounds a little ridiculous, so bear with me. Just last week I purchased a new MacBook for myself. My old one lasted me 5 years and is still technically working, but due to some water damage the speakers are completely fricked. The screen flickers quite a bit when not charging, and overall it's just slow. I have no use for it anymore. Regarding my cat, so I live in a fairly small apartment, and although it has windows there really isn't much to see besides a few trees in the parking lot really. I got my cat a few months ago and have a cat tree by the window, shelves and spaces so she can climb up high, and quite a few toys I play with. At first, my car had no problem hanging by the window, but eventually I noticed she started to get bored, and while I'm in the middle of working she would constantly meow or do mischievous things. I put on cat TV a few times for her and noticed she really enjoyed it and would stare at it for hours. However, I would put this on my new TV as this was really the only free screen I had. She would at times pounce at the TV, once almost knocking it back. After I got my brand new laptop I figured I'll barely get anything for selling my old one. I might as well use it for my cat. It's worked great. I put on cat TV on YouTube and have the back of the laptop screen against the wall beside me. So while I'm working she just sits there looking at the screen, occasionally pawing at it and then falling asleep. Of course I still play with her and give her plenty of pets, but I found this is a great way to keep her mentally stimulated. This also prevents any concern of her damaging my electronics or hurting herself. I took a photo of her sitting and looking at the laptop because it looked like she was hard at work, and though it was funny and sent it to my family. My brother and mom laughed, but my sister messaged me. Sister, S. Hey, you gave your MacBook to the cat? Me, M. Yes, mine was pretty banged up and I needed a new one, and this keeps her occupied. S. Okay, well if you're no longer using it, can I have it? M. Well, there really is no point considering there are so many issues with it. It's not like the cat owns it. I just use it for her to keep her occupied when I feel like she needs to see more than just the parking lot. S. So you're gonna keep it for your cat rather than give it to me who needs it for school? MacBooks aren't cheap. M. I'm aware they aren't cheap, but there are other companies. This basically went on for a bit until she said I was being an inconsiderate butthole. If the MacBook was in better condition I would totally give it to her, but fixing the screen and speakers and replacing the battery will cost about the same or more as a mid-range Windows laptop. My mom and brother just kinda laughed at it and said not to worry, but my sister is being pretty cold with me. Am I the butthole? Did OP act like a butthole? Here's what Reddit thinks. Not the butthole. It's also probable if you gave it to her in the condition it was in. She'd complain you gave her a busted laptop, gift horse and mouth and all that. Honestly, unless there's a specific reason you need a MacBook, drop the money on a different laptop that's not going to need so many repairs. Am I the butthole for telling my brother he got exactly what he deserved when he pushed his girlfriend away for being a gold digger? My brother is a very hardworking man, and at 27 he is now very wealthy and doing well for himself. He's been with this girl for 6 months, and throughout the time we have gotten close because we both like hair, makeup, and shopping. I never knew there was anything wrong with their relationship except when she texted me last week, saying she would love to hang out but thinks it'll be inappropriate because her and my brother broke up. I asked her why, and she said she was sick and tired of auditioning to prove she was with him for the right reasons. She went on to say that my brother is paranoid she's after his money, so he would test her like one, leaving out his bank statements on their bed and getting upset when she picked it up too. Going out to eat at high-end restaurants he requested and leaving his wallet on home at purpose to make her pay the bill and prove she's not going out with him for money. 3. Never buying her gifts and questioning her when she asks why he doesn't. I was shocked, so I had to hear my brother's perspective. We spoke and he told me everything she said was true, and that there's nothing wrong with making sure his girlfriend is with him for the right reasons. He said he left his bank statements on the bed and was peeking through the door to see if she would be curious, and when he saw her pick up the papers he knew in his gut she was using him for his money. So he set up the restaurant idea to see if she would get upset at paying a $500 bill, which she was. I asked him if he thinks her being an elementary school teacher could have contributed to her being upset at a $500 bill at a restaurant he wanted to go to, and he said no. He said the straw that broke was when she asked him why he hasn't bought her a single gift since they've started dating, when she bought him a gaming console and new rims for his car, and he knew she was just discreetly asking him to buy her an expensive gift. He confronted her and said he thinks she's with him for his money, so she said let me do us both a favor and dumped him and blocked him. He's upset about the gold digging bee, and when I left he called me a butthole. He said I would never understand what it's like being a rich man and being used, and I get that concern. But I told him if he thinks any woman will be okay with his tests and auditions, he's delusional as heck. If he doesn't want to be used for his money, he should start dating people as wealthy as him or leave lower income people alone if he's not going to be genuine in his relationships unless they pass his test. Is OP a butthole? Here is what Reddit thinks. Not the butthole. Sounds like you told your brother the truth. He sounds immature and testing a partner never turns out well. Am I the butthole for using my future mother-in-law's own line on her? I, 28F, and my fiance, 28M, have been together 9 years. Since sophomore year of college. Engaged since October 2019. My future MIL, 54, has 3 sons, of which my fiancé is the oldest. She is very much into being matriarch and hates the idea of her little babies growing up and moving on with their lives. She cried for days when me and fiancé, then boyfriend, moved into an apartment together after graduating college and asked fiancé if I forced him to do it. I was never invited to my future in-laws' home for Thanksgiving or Christmas because that was for family only. My fiancé threw down to have me invited in 2019 after we got engaged. I was excluded from photos because those were for family only and I was only a fiancé, not a wife. My future brother-in-law's girlfriend still gets the same treatment. MIL recently caught wind from fiancé of my plans to go wedding dress shopping with my mom, sister, and cousin. She assumed she was invited and called me to ask what day and time. I said, oh no, it will just be me, mom, sister, and cousin. She was clearly upset and asked why can't I come. I said, oh, it's for family only. I am sure you'll understand. She sputtered something about having to go and hung up. She later whined to fiancé about how I was being mean, excluding her from his experience since she has no daughters. Fiancé and his brother with a girlfriend thought it was hilarious, as did the girlfriend, and loved that I turned the tables on her in a way she can't protest against without being marked as a hypocrite. Fiancé's youngest brother thinks I'm being mean to her for no reason and I should be considerate of the fact she has no daughters and let her share this experience. I don't want her there because I want to enjoy with the loved ones, and I frankly don't want to include someone in an experience like that who made a point of excluding me. So Reddit, am I the butthole? Is the poster a butthole or not? Reddit says, you are so not the butthole. Your MIL is clearly someone who wants to control everyone and everything, combined with a sense of entitlement. My sympathies to your FIL. Finally, here's our headline story of the day. Am I the butthole for giving my concert ticket to another girl after my friend said she only wanted to go with me as friends? I am 24M and I have a friend who is 21. She's really nice and we've known each other for a year. She is my sister's acquaintance and we met at my sister's birthday party. I have a crush on her although she isn't exactly my type. Lately I feel like I've been getting vibes that she likes me back. Last week I won a raffle and have 2 tickets to see a famous singer perform next month in a nearby city. She also happens to like this singer, so I asked her if she wanted to go with me as a date. I said I can book us a hotel room and we can spend the night together. She said she'd love to go, but only as friends. She says she's alright with us splitting a hotel room as long as it has 2 beds. She told me she doesn't feel ready to date anyone at the moment, and she doesn't do flings either. So unfortunately we can only be platonic friends. I said I'll think about it. I was quite hurt because honestly I don't have much experience with rejection, and I was annoyed that she turned me down. Today, I asked my female coworker to go with me to the concert as a date. She immediately said yes and seemed quite excited about it, although she admitted that she never listened to any of their songs. Still, I'm taking her out for drinks on Friday. But just now, the friend who I asked originally asked if we were still on for the concert. I told her honestly that I already asked another woman, and she seemed disappointed but dropped the subject. When I told my sister about what happened, she said I'm being really douchey. She says her friend is a huge fan of the singer and I should take her instead of my coworker who doesn't even like the band but only wants to go because she likes me. I said she can't understand because she's not a dude. Because let's be honest, if I had the choice between going out with a girl who only wants to be my friend versus a girl who is super into me and wants to take things to the next level, then obviously I'm taking the second one. Am I the butthole for just being honest about what I want? Is OP a butthole? Smashels32 has a clear verdict. You are the butthole. You don't rescind an invitation because you won't get laid at the end. Only guys understand is an example of toxic masculinity. Don't be surprised if you lose a friend over this. Now it's your time to vote on the buttholeness of the headline story. Is the poster a butthole? Let us hear your thoughts. Go to the pinned comment under this video. Please hit the thumbs up on the reply of YDA. You are the butthole if you think the OP could have been nicer. Or press thumbs up on the reply saying NTA. Not the butthole if you are on the same side as OP. Feel free to leave your opinion and reason why you voted for the option you did in the comments section. And join the discussion. For more buttholes, subscribe to Sidebar.